Hey, yo, you ready? Let's do it. Yeah. I'm the definition of half man, half drugs, ass the clubs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. Another edition of Lawn Chair Talk. Obviously, you see me here. We got Nick, and we've got a very special guest this evening, Mr. Grant Sommers. Put your hands together for Grant Sommers.
Let's
here.
give him a little applause going
There
here.
we go.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
Grant
How about
Sommers.
that? How about that?
So, Grant, I'll just let you introduce yourself to the program, to the folks back home. Tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe give your position on the field and your hometown, maybe, where you're coming from. Go ahead. I'll just roll the ball right at you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me on, guys. My name is Grant Sommers. I am a junior infielder from Omaha, Nebraska. Just transferred here this year. Loving it so far. I played my last 2 years at UNO, University of Nebraska, Omaha. And yeah, so just ended up transferring this year. That's how I got here.
And what position are you, Grant?
Infield.
Oh, wait, did you say
I said
that?
infield,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Infielder.
I'm sorry, I missed that. But Grant Sommers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
Grant
great.
Sommers.
This is actually technically the first official guest we had. Obviously, we had special guest DJ Beatty. We've had a couple appearances from other people on the program.
From
but,
season one.
Right. Oh, no. Season one, we had a couple.
Yeah,
But
we had a
season
couple,
two,
but
we've had a
season
couple
two-
of special guests sprinkled in there, and now we've got a very own lawn chair sat in the middle with our special friend Grant Sommers.
Yes, absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you on, Mr. Sommers. And I guess we'll just kick it off first with obviously you gave an introduction on yourself, but let's kind of get into a little bit firsthand your recruiting process and what that kind of looked for you coming in to Omaha and your high school recruiting experience. What did that kind of look like for you?
Yeah, so when my first 2 years of high school, I was pretty scrawny and short and pretty bad at baseball, not very good. I was like 5'9", $140, maybe $150.
With a lot of grit.
Yeah.
Tons of moxie.
But after my sophomore season, I quit football, and I was like, all right, baseball is what I want to do. Like, I want to play in college, and there was a new training facility called Wire Development Center that a lot of dudes from around the Omaha Metro went to, and super cool place. Had like a hit tracks, the whole drive line set up, nice weight room in there, and I was like, okay. So I just kind of started training a lot, and it was just a lot of fun. Pretty easy to show up every day when you're just there with your buddies, and it really is just a lot of fun playing hit tracks games. And I didn't really know what would come of it, but I had a really good junior season. I grew a little bit, gained some muscle, and had a great junior season. And was just having fun playing the game, and kind of getting some recruitment in there kind of just came with it. I didn't have a ton. I wasn't like a super high-profile guy by any means. But yeah, Hutchinson Community College was the first school I had a lot of interest in that I talked to. I was really heavily considering going there. I was about a week away from committing in like June of my junior year. But then I got connected with Omaha through the recruiting coordinator at my high school and took a visit there, and I just loved it. I loved it. What I loved about it a lot was I was just so close to home as well. Like, college campus there was closer to my high school. I mean, what isn't there to love about that? And Carter Navin was also committed there at the time, and I knew him. And
Shout out, Nave.
Yeah, shout out
Navin.
and yeah, just kind of felt right. I got the offer, and ended up committing the next day. So
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I think obviously, another unique kind of recruitment process. Obviously, me and Garrett have kind of shared ours previously on earlier episodes, and each guest that we've had on has kind of, had a similar story. Obviously, a while back ago, we had Camden on, kind of had that similar story of, not really getting that kind of love like early on in high school, and then kind of getting it later on. We also had Josh Hernandez on. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Boutman, man.
Yeah, shout out to
If
the
you're
Boutman,
watching.
man. But another guy who, ended up at a small Division I school, really kind of grinded his way through to get there. And so I mean, I think for you though, obviously you spent 2 years at Omaha. Now you've transferred here for your junior season here at Doane. Tell us a little bit about walking in as a freshman at a Division I campus. What did that kind of look like for you?
It was honestly pretty scary at first. I didn't know what to expect at all. I didn't wasn't great friends with anybody who was a year older than me or 2 years older than me and played. I had a cousin that graduated, played at Nebraska in 2014. I talked to him a little bit, but so much has changed, and obviously 2 different schools, don't know what 2 different coaches, don't know really what to expect. So I was pretty quiet the first few weeks, and like you guys know me, I'm a talkative guy. I'm pretty easygoing, laid back. I didn't say much until I kind of started to do well in practice, do well in inter squads, and kind of just slowly gained more and more confidence and kind of figured out who I was as a player there and what they wanted from me, and kind of just started just gaining that confidence and understood that I was there for a reason. They recruited me for a reason, and kind of just found my role a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, you talk about the confidence thing. Just touching on that, I know that in our day and age, it's really easy for kids, especially kids that go from high school to Division I, to kind of, I'm not necessarily saying getting scared, but you walk in and it's a little intimidating. I mean, we talk about how the recruiting landscape works now. You've got 22, 23, 24-year-olds, maybe even older, that are still competing at Power 5 schools, Division I schools. So as an 18-year-old walking in there knowing that you got to compete with a guy that's 6 or 7 years older than you,
Yeah.
right? I mean, tell me a little bit how you faced that and taking that head on and just saying, you know what, like, obviously you talk about starting to get in the swing of things. You started to hit the ball a little bit better and kind of feel you out as your own player, but how that kind of translated to, hey, you know what, I can do this. Like, I can compete with these guys.
Yeah, honestly, I think it kind of started before we even had practice. When I first got there, freshman fall, there was some seniors on the team that we had a group chat, and hey, some people are throwing live at bats this day. It was honestly probably the week before school even started. Freshmen all just moved in, and there's a guy, his name's Harrison Kryling. He's with the Seattle Mariners now in their organization. Got drafted this 2 years ago. But there was a trackman there, and it wasn't on the scoreboard or anything, so I didn't know what he was throwing. And I kind of just stepped in there. I was like, okay, see what college baseball's all about. And I didn't know he was sitting 95. I had no idea.
Jeez.
I had no idea, but I had a decent at bat against him, fouled off a few fastballs, and I ended up striking out. But that was a moment where I stepped out of the box and I was talking to somebody hey, he was sitting 94. I was like, really? Because that was the fastest pitching I'd ever seen. I was like, okay, it kind of just taught me something. Okay, it's what you make it. If you're oh, he's throwing super hard, then that's it's gonna look super hard. But I guess it kind of just reminded me, okay, I can hang, and I was pretty excited to get going from there.
A cool way to think about that before you get going is it's kind of I hear this a lot in football. For a quarterback, when they're playing in a game, you gotta have to take that first hit or take that first sack, get smoked to kind of be
yeah,
all right, I'm here. Even though you fail, getting in the box and knowing that you competed against a guy who's now playing professional baseball, and even at that point was still having big league stuff.
Yeah.
Even though you failed, you knew that you could hang. You could hang with
right.
these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, a lot of times what you find, especially for a high school kid walking into college, and Division I, Division II, JUCO, whatever it is, I think you always kind of have that coming to Jesus moment where it's all right, something happens or whatever, right? When you step on campus and you're okay, this is it, this is a real deal, and you kind of have to have that moment where you're all right, either you go for it or you kind of fold and give up, right? I always remember one kind of similar story to you. I always remember my first, when I was coming back from TJ, when I was at Navarro at junior college, I remember one of my first at bats that I threw coming back was a guy on our team who ended up going to Baylor. Now he's at A&M, but big dude, kind of intimidating, just hits the cover off of a ball, and I threw him a slider, just hung it right down the middle, and he just parked it out to the road. And it's just one of those things where even in a situation where you fail like that, you kind of realize like, okay, yeah, like, you know what, it's baseball at the end of the day. Like, you're gonna fail, but hey, like, I know I'm here on campus for a reason. I know that maybe I don't have the confidence yet, or maybe I don't have the stuff yet, but I can hang with these dudes. You know, I'm on this team for a reason. And like, similar story with you, like, you might have punched out that at bat, but hey, you got in that box, you're ready to go from there on out. And obviously, like, what I wanted to bring up with this is kind of transitioning into your freshman season, because obviously you got a lot of playing time, found some success on the field. What'd that kind of look like for you starting as a freshman?
So to start the year, the first weekend we went down to Arkansas State, and I don't even remember what town that school was in.
Maybe Jonesboro.
Yeah.
Jonesboro,
That would be
Arkansas.
Jonesboro.
Got my Arkansas geography down.
It was honestly freezing that weekend, but first two games, like, I was going down there, I was like, okay, I didn't know if I was gonna play or not. Like, they told me like maybe you'll DH or something. But first two games I didn't play, and then they sent the lineup out before the game, and I was before game 3, and I saw I was starting at DH. I was like, oh wow. I was honestly pretty terrified. It was like your first college baseball experience, and
You're not just hitting 9-hole playing second base. You're the DH.
Yeah.
You're the big dog.
I was DHing
seriously.
and hitting like 6 in the lineup, and I obviously, like, I had huge first game jitters, and I think I was like 0 for 3 with 2 punchies and like a ground out. Actually, I do remember my first at bat. I swung 0-0 and grounded out to the shortstop, and I got back to the dugout, and we had an older coach who was a fiery guy, but he loved me a lot for some reason. He's like, "What are you doing swinging 0-0 first college at bat?" I was like, "I don't know, I saw it and hit it."
Yeah.
But then it ended up punching out my last 2 at bats, if I remember right. But after that, we went to Long Beach State that next weekend. I didn't touch the field at all. But we were honestly playing terrible as a team. We started off the year 0-12, actually.
Hey, I know a little bit about
Hey,
that.
we
Me
know,
and Nick,
we know,
me and Nick
we
know
know
about
the
that.
0-12 start. We
Been
know about
there.
Never fun.
it.
But
No.
the weekend after that, we went to Lindenwood. We had a 3-team little weekend there, 4-game weekend against Lindenwood and Bradley. We ended up losing all 4. But game 1, I don't think I played. I don't remember. I don't know if I remember right. But I got a pinch. No, game 1, I got a pinch hit at bat and hit a ball. I hit the cover off the ball foul, and ended up drawing a walk. And then the next game, game 2 that day, I played. And then first at bat, I had. How people tell me they said it was 3-0, but I almost guarantee you it was 2-1. But I swung and had just a cap shot single over first base, and then just started hitting the ball really well, and kind of just kept hitting throughout the year until I had hamate surgery, and kind of was a bit of a setback, but came back after 6 weeks and hit okay to end the year. But I think overall it was just a good year. Like, okay, got some experience under my belt, and yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, going from a freshman year where you're able to get your feet wet, you're able to play a little bit, find some success on the field, have a little bit of a setback with that surgery, but able to bounce back, finish off the year strong. And kind of leading into that, so your sophomore season, would you kind of feel maybe like a difference or anything like that? I kind of want you to touch on a little bit on like that kind of difference that you felt like going from freshman year to sophomore year.
Yeah. So even before sophomore year, that summer in the WCBL,
Oh, yeah.
go Berries.
Shout out.
I don't know about that.
I had a really good summer there. Just had a ton of fun. It felt like, honestly, it just felt like high school baseball again. Like what I was saying, just having fun playing baseball, and his summer ball was just super relaxed, and you're just showing up, and you're not really trying to impress anybody. Like, you're just there playing, and had a great summer and got back to Omaha in the fall. I had a bunch of confidence, and there really was no expectation put on me, but I almost felt that way. I honestly had a good fall too. We only had a couple scrimmages, but played against Creighton, and I did well that game, and then played against Iowa, and I had a homer against Cade Overmuller, and that kind of just gave me, okay, I feel like I could do something this year. Then that's kind of where, like, the rabbit hole, I kind of just ended up spiraling down the rabbit hole. I just put those huge expectations on myself, like, okay, I need to start getting looks here and start getting have a really good year. And put so much pressure on myself, even in like inter squad and stuff that didn't matter, and tried to find the perfect swing, and I just ended up spiraling and lost who I was as a person and a player, and just my identity just completely went into baseball. And obviously that's super slippery slope.
Right.
Started off the year, honestly, like the first weekend at Tulane that year wasn't even bad. I only had 2 hits, but I had good at bats, hit a homer, but I just had crazy expectations for myself for no reason. Went to play Nichols, and I hit a ball really hard, but still was like, I'm not getting hits. I'm not performing how I want to, and just kept spiraling. We went to play against L.C.T, ended up winning the Natty, and I don't know who I thought I was. Like, thinking, I need to get 2 hits every single game. Like, you're facing guys that throw 96 with 24 inches of rock. Like be for like that's the first time I ever seen that, and I got like my body language was showing it too, and I was just spiraling and playing terribly, and I completely let it consume me. Like I just didn't even recognize myself as a baseball player anymore. Got benched for like an entire month. Came back for a couple weeks and played pretty solid, and then put those expectations on myself again, and just kept spiraling, and then it ended up being like the reason why I had to leave. And I think the way I got through that was like I realized, okay, like it's a super slippery slope. Putting everything into baseball. Like baseball was my mood for the day. It consumed me. It's all I wanted to do. I wanted to go hit, do stuff like that. Like I didn't have an identity outside of baseball. And baseball was just who I was. It wasn't something I did. And I ended up kind of realizing that over the summer. Like, okay, like find something else. Find what makes you you. Find who, like those relationships, like who are your like that is like your rocks. And that's kind of like honestly this summer. That's just completely went all in. I'm like, okay, like finding my identity in Christ, and that's kind of like what helped me. I think that's why I've performed so well here. So this fall, I think I've been just because I can show up to the field and be like, okay, I can do good, I can do bad, but it doesn't define me as a person. And I think that was the biggest turning point and why I have that confidence again. And I just feel like myself again playing baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get into that, because obviously that's a subject that I think me and Garrett really wanted to touch on, was your faith. But before that, I do want to mention, you brought up Tulane, playing there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that home run that you hit at Tulane was the first home run of the season for Omaha. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
That is correct.
Last year, pitching coach Anthony Izio and analytics coach Frankie Neiman. It's a 3-1 pitch into Sommers. That one's driven well in the air to left field, sends Lynn chasing back. He is out of space, and that one is gone. Grant Sommers, through the wind, cracks a home run, the first of the year for Omaha, and makes it a 2-run game again, 4-2. Sommers with his second career home run, the sophomore out of right there in Omaha. Had one last year, has one in Game 2 this year.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
How did you know that?
I did my research.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what you get at Lawn Chair Talk.
I did my research. I happen to. We might have to.
I think it's on my Twitter.
If Beatty can somehow put that clip on this video, it'd be awesome. But anyway, moving on. But just wanted to bring that up because I did see that on Instagram. I think I saw I was looking up Omaha and stuff, and I saw a video, and it was like Grant Sommers' first home run of the Omaha season. I was like, how about that? I know that guy. He's coming on. Yeah. So, pretty cool stuff there. But
no, yeah. I got one thing. So before we get past the whole Omaha to Doane thing, when you decided I needed to get out of here, I needed to get a fresh start somewhere, what actually made you choose Doane? Because, at least I'm a D2 guy. I've never really had high views of my caliber or self-esteem in terms of I play Division II, so I'm better than the guy that plays Division III or NAI or anything like that. But as a Division I guy, how do you go into that situation and that decision and go, you know what, I don't know if necessarily this applies to you, but did you kind of swallow your pride and your ego to be able to go to an NAI school from a D1?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it honestly came down to, a step back. Like my sophomore year at Omaha, like just completely ended up making me hate baseball. It's like I would show up to the field, and I remember telling people on that team like that I could just talk to and have like this vulnerable conversation. Like, yeah, showing up is like I honestly hate it some days. Like it was the thing I love doing, and I just like it was just a mood ruiner. Like showing up to the field knowing I'm not going to play, and obviously that's not like a great mindset to have. But that's just where I was at, and I kind of just wanted to be able to find that love for baseball again, and knowing Kaiser was going here, and I roomed with him.
Shout out Pop.
Shout out
Pop.
Roomed with him my freshman year at Omaha. Love that dude. And then Carter Navin was already committed.
Shout out Nav again.
Shout out Nav again.
He was already committed here before like our season even ended at Omaha. He kind of knew he was coming here, and like that's my best friend. It's like he had a lot of good things to say about it. I already been talking to Coach O, and had a really long conversation with him in the parking lot of our Omaha's baseball field after our practice for conference tournament. I was on the phone with him, talked to him for probably 30 minutes in the parking lot. I just loved the conversation. I was like, okay. Like even then on that phone call, I remember telling him like, yeah, it's either I'm staying here or I'm coming to Denver. Like I just loved everything he had to tell me, and everything he was saying about the program and how it's run. It just was absolutely true and more. I've loved it here so far, and yeah, but it definitely took some swallowing some pride. But I was at a point where like, okay, I just want to love baseball again.
Yeah.
I felt like Doane was the place where I could do that, and I absolutely love baseball again.
Well, and me and Nick too. Like you talked about going with Nav and Pop. Like, I mean, if Nick wasn't here, there's no reason that I would have came to Doane necessarily.
Yeah.
And the same goes for Gabe. Shout out Gabe. Shout out G-Rod in the
Shout out
crowd
G-Rod.
tonight. But like, I mean, that's 3 guys now that had prior connection too that helped kind of get us to a spot that we all wanted to be at and make us. I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself, but I am having worlds more fun just like being at the field.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously I'm down right now, but like being able to go to the weight room and go to off-season workouts and just be around guys, hang out with dudes on the weekends, play Fortnite with dudes. Like, I'm loving every second of it compared to past experiences, and whether it be D1, D2, or NAI. Like, I think at the end of the day, it just goes down to, like, finding where your home is at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too. I mean, you know, as you said, like the connections that you find like previously with some guys, and especially like for me, I felt that, especially at kind of like a smaller school, you have guys that, you know, hey Bridges, okay, you have guys that you know where you have like previous connections with, and they're kind of able to help you out to bring you to new places that you never thought you'd be at. I mean, I never thought personally for me that I'd ever be at Doane. I didn't even know Doane existed as a school, you know.
Super fair.
I mean, I had no idea what Doane was until I literally hopped on a phone call with Coach O. But, I mean, I think, you know, for Garrett and Gabe, like, I fell in love with this program, and I fell in love and found a home here, especially not just a home, like, in a community, but just a home where I had – every single guy on the team as a brother, like as someone who I could trust, you know, on and off the field. And once you find that, you know, connection, it makes you love the game more, and it makes you just want to be more competitive on the field. And I think for me too, like going previously in my past experiences, I was so hard on myself because I expected so much perfection, and I didn't have sort of that like group where I could just kind of like let loose a little bit. And now, like for you, you know, when you had those previous connections with Papaheg and Nav, they're both here and stuff, you know, I think that makes that transition a lot easier, where you're able to, you know, kind of be a little more free to speak, a little more free to be who you are on the field and find that identity back within yourself. So obviously, I mean, your whole story as far as, you know, the recruitment process from high school, getting to Omaha, getting to Doane, I mean, obviously, very cool story. That's kind of what we love about like doing this podcast, is just finding like those guys that you know aren't highlighted necessarily. You know, we're not talking to guys like
Mike Trout.
Yeah, Drew Burris, you know, of Georgia Tech. Like we're talking to Grant
Or like
Sumner.
Heinrich Harburg.
Or like Heinrich Harburg, you know.
Household names.
Yeah, household names. We're talking to guys that you don't know, but guess what, man? Like they they got cool stories, and they're grinding just as everyone else is grinding.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's cool. I think next I kind of want to move into, you touched on it a little bit before on your faith, so kind of want to talk about that with you a little bit. How did kind of your faith as an athlete help you to kind of bring your identity back on the field and off the field?
Yeah, I honestly just think, like I touched on it earlier, like who you are, like it just changed what baseball was for me. Like when I put all my eggs in one basket, like baseball is what I am and what I do. It was everything that just kind of just ruined who I was as a person. And when I was able to find my identity in Christ this past year, and honestly since last season, it's just completely transformed how I think about baseball and how I go about my day, and just like having interactions with people. But yeah, and knowing that baseball isn't the end all be all, and like no one judges you based on who you are as a baseball player. Like at the end of the day, nobody really cares, and that's like what I had to come to realize. Because the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is where you go after you die. Like that's in the grand scheme of things, that's all that really matters. And I came to realize that, and found that putting your identity into Jesus is like the most important thing you can do in your life. Like no matter what goes wrong, what goes right, there's nothing that can happen to change the way God loves you and the love that Jesus has for you. So.
And knowing, like, just to add on to that, is like having that trust in that God's with you through all the ups and the downs. I think that you talked about when your identity is in something like baseball, for example, you just become so performance driven and so results driven. And baseball is a sport where you fail more than you succeed. So if you're only living off of your results, I mean, you're going to be a very miserable person, really. But when you know that your identity is rooted in something that's so much greater than you could ever even fathom, then you almost kind of lose that fear of going into the unknown and going into the sort of scary situations and nervous situations, knowing that he's walking right next to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it's so easy to believe in him and to trust him when things are going great, it's so easy to walk that when everything in your life feels good, but it's those moments where, you're in a time of just like loneliness and like a time where everything feels like it's just wrong and feels like nothing can go your way. Those are the times that you know that he's always with you, and with him, there's always light to it, even in the darkness. So I think, I think finding your identity, especially as an athlete, and especially specifically with baseball. I mean, baseball is a game of failure. You are going to fail more than you succeed. Like, you are going to fail all the time. And accepting that, and especially accepting in Christ and feeling that great feeling of being with him and not feeling like your day has to be, if you go 4 for 4 with 2 bombs, you know what I mean? Or you punch out the side, right? Like, at the end of the day, you just got another opportunity to wake up and, spread his love and spread his word. And that's the most beautiful thing and the greatest kind of thing that you could ever feel. So,
yeah, I mean, it's like a super, I don't want to say overly used, but it kind of is, saying like God has a plan for you. But I think it's definitely true. Like, how I was going about my life was I was making my own decisions for myself every day, trying to figure it out, just go about my life how I thought it was supposed to be. Like, I thought I was supposed to be a baseball player and everything like that. But like, I never would have guessed I would have ended up here. But there was so much that had to happen for me to end up here, and I think ultimately it was definitely a part of how God had my life drawn up. Like, if I didn't end up here, I wouldn't be in the Bible study with Carter and Lincoln that I go to now. I wouldn't be in that discipleship group. I wouldn't be where I am in my faith if I hadn't, like, if what happened last year at Omaha didn't happen. So I think it was absolutely a part of the plan, and it's a super vague saying, but there's definitely a leap of faith moment that everybody has to take when it comes to, just giving everything you have to Jesus, like going all in on it, not at that hinge point in their life, like, okay, like, I could keep doing it my way and just figure it out, or just take that leap of faith and give your life to God. Like, I completely encourage you to do that. It's super hard. Like, it's one of the hardest things you can do, but I promise you it's the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah, I mean, I think too, especially at kind of the biggest thing that I noticed when I got to Doane was just finding a group of guys on this team that also share those same beliefs and share those same values, and it makes it so much easier to continue with your faith and continue to be strong with it, because you have so many guys around you that feel the same way and are trying to do the same thing, especially in a athletic setting where, man, you're busy all the time and you're going through the same struggles or very similar struggles, of where it's like, dude, sometimes you wake up and you're like, man, I don't want to go to class, or, you know, practice is going to suck today. Like, it's a grind to go through some of those stuff, and like having those kind of like really close like teammates and everything that are also, you know, followers of Christ makes it so much easier to be able to be strong with and be able to continue with. And I think that's kind of one of the biggest takeaways that I've taken from Doane of being a part of this team. So, yeah, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very inspiring stuff.
Yeah,
At least I love
absolutely.
hearing about guys' faith journeys and just how everybody's a little different. And it's just awesome to see somebody have their testimony being like, life without God is so empty. And then once you find Him, which is different for everybody, it's always going to be different, and you're going to go through trials and tribulations regardless of if He's with you or not. But once you find that peace, it's just, you know, awesome to see how it starts to affect other dudes' lives and start to change them for the better. But moving on a little bit into the normal sections of our regularly scheduled programs, we are going to hit some college. We're going to hit some college football.
We're going to hit some college football here.
We're going to hit a draft after that.
Yeah.
So let's hop into the college football segment of this podcast.
So as we can see, also Grant is repping his Nebraska Cornhuskers here.
Go Big Red.
That's
GBR.
right, baby.
GBR. We actually won't be talking about that game.
No, we
but
won't. They don't play this week either.
Oh, that is true. Excuse me. I'm not the Nebraska fan here, but we do have.
I got us.
But we do have our picks. Should we let Grant start it off with his picks?
Absolutely, he's going to start us off.
Or should we kind of more put it at like a game day type feel where we just kind of hit a game together?
Yeah,
sure.
All
right, let's do that.
I think we do that.
Yeah.
Start off with Georgia, Texas.
Sure, let's
hit it off with Georgia, Texas.
All right.
Grant, what you got on Georgia, Texas? Who are we feeling?
I'm feeling Georgia.
Okay.
I'm feeling Georgia. They only have 3 losses at home since 2021, and every single one of them has been to Alabama. I think both teams have a solid defense. I think both teams have a good passing game. I think it will just come down. It's going to come down to defense. And I think Georgia ultimately has better like rushing offense. And I just think it's going to be a tough atmosphere to go into. They've only lost 3 at home since 2021. I think Georgia takes it.
I like it. Starting it off. Yeah, you know what? I'm also going to agree with you on this one. I think playing in Athens, I mean, one of the most difficult places to play at in the country, man. When you get in between those hedges, it is just nonstop, just grueling pain for any team that walks in there. And I think Texas is a team. They're obviously on the bubble of making it to the college football playoffs as of right now. I think they are a legit team, and I think Arch is really starting to find his identity on who he is on the field. However, I mean, how can you not pick the Dogs? I've been so high on the Dogs, and especially them at home. I just can't see a world where they don't take this game. We see last year when they walked into DKR and they took care of business at Texas. I see them taking care of business at home. I don't see it any other way. So I'm taking the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so this is a game that I've wrestled with a little bit in the last couple days. I really want to bet on Arch Manning in Texas. I really want them to win. That's who I'm cheering for. Arch has really found his stride a little bit, I would say. As much as I love the Georgia defense, they just really haven't impressed me that much, at least this year, in terms of comparing them to the previous years. I mean, their last 3 games, they've allowed 20 to Florida. They've allowed 21 to Mississippi State, which we're talking about a non-very good team, and then 35 against Ole Miss, which Ole Miss potent offense. With that being said, I still think that there's a couple questions left to be answered with the offense of Steve Sarkisian in Texas. I think Arch is still not quite – he hasn't had – this would be his signature win, but I don't think he's going to get it this weekend. I think I'm rolling with the dogs in Athens taking care of business here.
I like that.
So sorry to be kind of, rolling with the sheep here,
But I mean,
I think it's an obvious pick.
I would agree 100%.
I really do.
And then game 2, what we got for game 2?
Notre Dame versus Pitt.
Bang.
I like it.
Game day is going to Pittsburgh.
Which, controversial.
First time in 20 years.
Controversial.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I got Notre Dame. I think historically they have Pitt's number. I think I saw some their last few matchups. They've outscored 103 to 10, or something like that. And Notre Dame's obviously a good team, and they started off the year pretty shaky. 2 tough losses. I can't remember who they lost to, but it was two highly ranked teams.
Miami and A&M.
A&M. They had a close game with A&M.
Yeah, they were both close. They lost by 7 to Miami and then
1 point.
1 to A&M.
Yeah, 41-40. It's a close game, and I think they've kind of found their stride since then, and they've beat 2 ranked teams since maybe just one. Maybe it was USC. They beat USC a few weeks ago, and
which looks like a better and better win as they keep winning as well.
Yeah, I agree. And so I think Notre Dame's hot right now, and I got them winning this one.
Yeah, I like that. Garrett, I'll kick it off to you.
I would have to agree here. Little background on Pitt. Going into the season, they had a highly touted quarterback from Alabama, Eli Holstein, who was going to be the man there, and he has not performed well. Actually got benched about, I think, 4 weeks ago now. So they have moved on to true freshman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Mason Heinschel. Mason Heinschel, the 3-star from Ohio.
Heinschel.
The guy has been a baller. I watched a little bit of film last night, and he's been kind of saucing some not very great teams. And I think a lot of the time, he's throwing ducks that are just kind of just landing in the middle of defenses and kind of getting a little lucky. Obviously, with a true freshman playing against a great Notre Dame defense, I'm not saying this is even going to go to a quarterback battle. It's not really going to be Mason Heinschel versus C.J. Carr. You just got to know that Notre Dame's going to dominate the trenches. And Jeremiah Love's one of the best players in the country. I think they run wild against this team. I got them by 20 against Pitt. I don't find Pitt being a tough place to play either.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with both of you again, and I'm sorry to do it.
Sorry, viewers.
But here's the thing, and this is why I do it. I happened to see an interview with the Pitt coach, and speaking of Grant's point here, of outscoring them by 100. This guy, I don't know Pitt's coach's name.
Jackass.
But
Certified
he decided
jackass.
to say that I don't care because it's not an ACC game if we get beat by 100 in this game. As a player, if your coach is saying that, how are you supposed to rally for that? On game day, so much hype around it. Game day hasn't been there in how many years you said?
20.
20
I think
years.
It was 24, actually.
20 to 24 years. And you guys are supposed to rally behind that and be so hyped to go in there. And your coach just takes a massive shit on that and says, I don't care if we get beat by 100. This isn't an ACC game. Are you kidding me? On the opposite side here, Notre Dame is not part of a conference. Every game means something to them. They want this game. Notre Dame's taking it by 100.
I hope they do score 100.
I do too. All because that coach said that. Moving on to game 3. Grant, what do we got?
Iowa USC.
Yes, I like it.
I like that game.
I think USC played a pretty good game last week. I was sitting watching it at home, and I honestly think the play of that game was when Jaden Miles threw the pick, the lineman.
And yes.
And then he had the hustle play and punched the
love
ball
that.
out for the
I
touchback.
love
mean,
that.
that's just
Shout out.
how is that not entertaining? But obviously, Iowa loses a heartbreaker to Oregon last week. They're kind of starting to look like Nebraska a bit, losing close games. I think all 3 of their losses have a combined 10 points. They've lost by a combined 10 points in their 3 losses. They just haven't been able to, just finish out games. But I think USC's playing good. They're on their 4th string running back, King Miller, and he's just tearing it apart. He's unreal.
Destroying everything.
Yeah, so I think ultimately, the pass offense is miles better on USC's side. I don't think Mark Gronowski is the greatest passer of all time. I don't think that's a very controversial take at all,
I
actually.
don't think he's competent whatsoever.
I don't think that's a very controversial take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got USC winning this one.
All right, I like it. And I guess I'll take...
Shout out Jerry.
Yeah, shout out Jerry. And I'd also like to shout out Jerry again because I took his USC Trojans against Notre Dame weeks ago. And what I have to say about that is, Jerry, you absolutely screwed me on that pick. And I took that pick because I believed in you. And once again, you told me that USC is going to dominate Iowa this week. Well, Jerry, I'm done riding with you. I'm taking the Hawkeyes to upset USC on the road. Gronowski sucks, but this Iowa defense, I think, can manage a young quarterback like Mayava, and I think they'll be able to have a similar game that they had against Oregon, but I think that Iowa is able to pull this one out. I'm taking the Hawkeyes.
So when I look at this ball game, you guys know me, man. I love siding with the home team. I think if this is USC traveling to Kinnick Stadium, I absolutely agree, Nick. I think that this defense rattles this guy. What are you playing in? Probably 40 degrees, windy and rainy out in the middle of Iowa. Man, I think that Iowa kicks their ass. But damn it, what did I say last week? What did I say? I said if Mark Gronowski was even semi-competent, the Hawkeyes win against Oregon. And what happens? Lays a big fat shit all over the field. All over the field. Yeah. If he plays...
He did.
If he plays anywhere, even close to an average quarterback, Iowa knocks off a top 5 team in the country. Mm-hmm. And he shits the bed. And here's what's going to happen. He's going to walk in to the Coliseum. Actually, is that where they play? Coliseum?
Yeah, that is where they play.
Right. Yeah, Rome, the Trojans. He's walking into the Coliseum. It's going to be about 75 degrees. Iowa's nothing going in their favor. Mayava's going to go for about 350 yards. I got the Trojans by double digits. Wow. And Mark Gronowski to not clips 100 fucking passing yards.
It almost feels like...
And there's our one F-bomb. And there's our one F-bomb of the episode.
Sorry.
It's PG-13, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down.
It almost feels sacrilegious picking Iowa in a Nebraska sweater anyway, so... I was never picking them.
All right, I guess we'll move on to Game 4. In my opinion, I would say our second best game here.
Which one are we going with?
I believe we got Oklahoma.
Okay, yeah, I was just making sure.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think both teams are solid. Both teams are good teams.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma's coming off a bye week, right? Yeah, they had a bye week.
Yes.
Yeah, after beating Tennessee.
In
Knoxville.
Knoxville.
They squeezed out a win at Tennessee. I think that was a majority because of the 3 turnovers. That definitely helped them a lot. And I think that there's going to be none of those favors done for him this week. Against Alabama, Ty Simpson's only thrown 1 pick this whole year. I think Alabama looks really good. And, yeah, I got Bama this game.
I like it. Garrett?
Sure, yeah. I completely agree with Grant here. I think this is going to be a game of who's going to minimize mistakes. And I think that right now, Mateer's got 7 touchdowns and 6 picks. We talked about his inconsistencies after coming back from hand surgery. This is a stout Alabama defense. I think that he is in trouble. I do understand that this game is in Tuscaloosa.
It is.
Tough environment as is, and you're going up against a perennial Heisman candidate who has literally turned the ball over once this year. So I think that Alabama is going to control the game. They're going to be able to mitigate their mistakes versus John Mateer. I'm sure he's going to make a couple of mistakes playing the aggressive way he does. So I got Alabama on this one.
I like that. I don't think there's much more that needs to be said. I believe at 2:30 on Saturday, the tide will be rolling, and Alabama will take down Oklahoma handedly. I don't think there's anything that you can really – I don't think there's any other points that you really can say. Ty Simpson is looking legit. He's looking like a Heisman candidate. He's looking like a Heisman front-runner. I mean, I know we got Mendoza out there, but, I mean, Ty Simpson is just looking legit. As you mentioned, only 1 pick on the season. Oklahoma's got a pretty good defense. I mean, they got one of the best defenses in the country. But I think Alabama is just one of those environments. We talk about those SEC environments like Georgia, Texas, Alabama.
Mississippi State.
Sure,
Missouri.
the Cowbells. I mean, you know, like we talk about those type of
Kentucky.
environments. I don't know about Kentucky, but I mean, we talk about those environments. It's so difficult to play there. And I just think that Mateer has just not shown that he's fully healthy, that he's fully back to who he was at the beginning of the season. I think Alabama just takes care of business, continues that great momentum that they've had ever since that Week 1 loss against Florida State. I think they just continue, keep the ball rolling, and dominate from here on out. I'm taking Alabama.
Moving on to the wrapping up the evening.
Which
we've got
sleeper game,
9:30 kickoff in Provo, Utah. We've got the BYU Cougars matching up against the TCU Horned Frogs in a game that could very well decide who ends up in the Big 12 title game against, I presume, will be Texas Tech.
Yeah, I really don't have much for notes on this game. This was kind of a gut feeling. I know.
Okay.
BYU, they're fighting for a spot in the playoffs. This is a must-win game for them. Not to the playoffs, for the Big 12 title game. Must-win game for them. I think the Furry Josh Hoovers look really good this year.
I would agree.
Yeah, he's a Furry.
He's throwing the ball really well. I think this is a great matchup. Well, everyone's saying BYU, Bears been good this year, but I just got a gut feeling. Shout out Caden Crawford. TCU's taking it. Upset.
I guess I'll start it off here. You know, I have a very hateful relationship for the Horned Frogs and TCU. Myself being a Baylor fan, and it's tough to really take them, but it is clear to me that BYU is just not a legit team. However, I can never go for TCU, and I'm sorry, Crawford, but I cannot rock with your Horned Frogs on this week. I'm taking BYU to hold out and to take this game. That's it.
Talk about some curveballs. I thought you were going to go
Yeah,
BYU,
Yeah,
TCU. Then I was
yeah.
like, oh, he's for sure going TCU here. And then he's like, oh, just kidding.
Nope,
BYU
just
it
kidding.
is.
I'm taking BYU.
I
I
like
could
it.
never take the Horny Frogs.
Yeah.
I am always rocking with my Sikkim Bears.
I'm happy you're sticking with your gut there. You got to stick to your guns.
I mean, I got to.
So you guys already touched on it. Hoover's had a great year. He's spinning the pigskin pretty good.
I would agree.
You got a guy like BYU's got with Bear Bachmeyer, freshman, actually rocks number 47 under center. You got to love it. Just tons of moxie.
Tons of grit from the guy.
Tons of grit from the kid. Rocking a number like that.
Did you ever see the story how he got it?
Yeah, he was, I believe in high school, he got the number, and he was like a linebacker, and then he
Yeah, that's what it
transitioned to
was.
quarterback, and he just never changed it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
Shout out
What
to
a game.
him. It's not going to fly if you want to play professional, buddy, but enjoy it while you can.
Hard to miss him.
Yeah,
So,
seriously.
You know, you guys know me. You know me by now, man. It's a 9:30 game. These Mormons are going to be so hopped up on Coca-Cola and hot chocolate, they're not going to know what hit them. TCU's going into a very extremely harsh Mormon environment with these Cougar fans. The freaking mascot's going to be doing push-ups on the tables on the sideline
Yes, he
after they
will.
score touchdowns.
Yes, he will.
I got BYU by 50 billion. Sorry, Caden Crawford. These Cougars are coming out hot. They got to protect the rest of what they have to prove to the committee that they deserve to be here
100%.
in the playoff.
Must-win game.
I think Josh Hoover just runs into an absolute steel wall of Cougars out there tonight. Give me the Cougars by 50 billion.
And I'll tell you what, though, to touch on that, BYU, their mascot has got to be one of the best, if not the best mascot in college.
Oh,
I mean,
he's top 2 and not 2.
I mean, he's jumping through hoops with fire on him. He's doing push-ups on tables. He is just a freak of nature. I just want to see the guy who's under that mask and just shake his hand, man. I'll tell you what. I mean, just a
How do you
legend.
get on the LinkedIn for that job?
I mean, seriously.
What do you need? What are the requirements?
The athletic ability
You
from
got to
that
be on
guy.
Cirque du Soleil. I mean, how do you get the job?
My goodness, from this guy. Anyways, we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
But Great picks, Grant.
Great picks.
We'd love to
Grant.
hear it. We'd love to hear
Keep track of them.
Yeah.
We'll see how you stand in our celebrity picks so far.
Yeah, and I love the similarities. I think were fair, and I love kind of the misdirections on a couple of those games. Grant, I love that take on TCU. However, so moving on now, we are going to transition into our last segment. It will be the draft. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. We've had Beatty sprinkle in for a couple picks. This week he will not be. He's sitting over there on his computer, not even paying attention. What do we pay him for?
Yeah.
But
Good golly.
good golly. All right, so this week's draft is going to be all things summer ball. If you guys don't know, after your spring season, after school's over, most college baseball players go play summer ball. Various leagues around the country, even spanning out into various other lands like our friends up north in Canada, which is where all three of us...
Three alumni of the Wick Bowl.
Three alumni of the Wick Bowl, but...
The most prestigious summer ball league in Saskatchewan.
As we know, ladies and gentlemen, we do this draft snake draft only.
Always snake draft.
Snake draft only. And we will be starting off. First pick always goes to our guest, Mr. Sommers.
Take it away.
Number one overall. How are we starting it off?
Yeah, when you mentioned that this would be a segment of it, I did some thinking. And when I think about summer ball, there's one thing that comes to mind, and something you'll never experience again with that group of guys, and that's playing Mafia on the bus.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
You can't beat it.
I mean, I
You
love
can't beat
it.
it. You're used to playing Mafia with the guys on your team from that spring. You know how people play. You know how people like to maneuver around the game. Then you get to summer ball, and it's a brand new Mafia environment. Maybe even new characters. You never know.
I like
Never
that.
know.
But yeah, there's really nothing that gets you more fired up than a heated game of Mafia at 2:30 in the morning, driving back from Weyburn, Saskatchewan.
Oh, brother, don't even give me
Way
started on
Vegas.
But
Garrett,
Mafia
off to
pick
you.
one.
All right, number 2 overall. This is going to be a little bit of a maybe you don't always think about this, but I'm going to go with Sundays off. Sundays off, you get a big win Saturday night, you know where the heck we're going. You know where we're going. You know who's coming. You know what's going to happen. The last thing you want to do is wake up at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, have to go to this scorching hot ball field and shag a bunch of BP for the lollygaga hitters. I mean, I don't want to be picking up balls that they're hitting rollovers into the gap because nobody's playing short because he's probably yakking out on the side. So I'm going to go with a nice, relaxing Sunday off after a Saturday victory.
That's
like
the
that.
beauty of the Wick Bowl, too. You get those Sundays off.
Oh, yeah.
Northwoods is just not.
No,
It's
it's not.
No, it is not.
33 games in the first 30 days this
Yeah.
summer. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Are
brother.
you kidding me?
Oh, brother.
Good heavens.
Great Scott. Sorcery.
Sorcery!
I believe I will have the next pick.
Yes.
Next 2 picks, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So for my first pick, I really did some thinking here, and I had to think, kind of what are those little small moments that you really cherish. And one of my favorite memories from summer ball was after a victory against the Saskatoon Berries on their home opener of their first year of existence, and a beautiful presentation of a fireworks show. I'm going with fireworks
Yeah,
shows.
I love
Ooh,
that.
great
Going
pick.
with fireworks shows. And to me, after we took care of business there, I did shut the door down on the Berries. I showed them what's up for
Gave
their
them the
home
business.
opener. I gave them the business. Saskatoon was quite disappointed to see their Berries lose game 1 of their existence. And after that, we all sat out in the outfield and just watched this beautiful fireworks show. So I'm going with fireworks show. My next pick, I'm going to go, this is a little biased for me, but I'm going to keep it specific but also a little general here. I'm going to go with Leopold's Tavern. Now, if you guys don't know what Leo's is, Leopold's Tavern is a little old tavern in Regina, Saskatchewan that was basically a staple for us to go grab some fantastic food and, maybe a couple Molson's, maybe a couple of Leo's lagers there after just a beautiful victory. So I'm just going to go with your local tavern/bar after a win.
Yes.
So there's my pick. Moving back on to Garrett
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
with
Okay.
that snake draft, right?
Yep, snake draft.
We go
Right.
here.
So my pick is going to be pretty general. Most teams have this, but I'm going to go with promotion nights. I think that promotion nights, if you've got the right summer ball team, you could throw some good ones in there.
Oh, yeah.
I know that when we went up to Saskatoon, they had Western night, and boy, was that a good show from
But
the
a little
old
bark at the
bullpen.
park.
A bark at the
Ooh,
park's a
bark
good
at the
one.
park,
Give
I
a
mean.
little pets at the old ballpark. Give a little poodle a scratch, huh? Nothing puts a smile on my face like playing catch and getting to hang out with a golden retriever on Bark in the Park Day. So I'm going to go with promotion days with my number 2 pick.
I like that.
All
Grant.
right. For my second pick, I know you guys are quite fond of this one. My pick is fan interaction.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the Barry guy.
Well, that is not his.
There you go.
I mean, I guess that counts. That counts. It's in it.
So yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, in a college baseball game, there's never going to be fan interaction like that. You're not going to have people jumping on top of your dugout. You're not going to have a guy wearing a mustard costume running across the warning track getting tackled by ketchup.
Yeah.
You're not
Ketchup
gonna,
will get you.
Yeah, I mean, that's my number 2 pick. I think it's always calls for some hilarious moments when you see 7-year-olds just making an absolute fool of themselves in foul territory. So yeah,
I like that. And then you have
my
another
number 3
pick. Yeah.
My number 3 pick is going to be, it's more of a broad pick, but I think it's going to be the location of where you play. I think it plays the biggest role in your summer ball experience. I think, yeah, there's definitely some bad places you can go.
Way
Vegas,
that would be
baby.
brutal.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, I mean, a place like Canada, there's so many cool places that you go in the Wick Bowl, and I think that plays a huge role in where you go. Like Northwoods, there's some cool places you go play. I know there's some cool leagues out on either coast, so I think that plays probably the biggest role in your whole summer ball experience. So yeah,
I like that.
location is pick number 3.
I like that.
Yeah, so rounding out my draft, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say heckling. Now, when you're in summer ball, everybody knows that, when you're in summer ball versus playing for your school, there's a humongous difference between what flies and between those dugouts, right? I mean, the amount of just obscenities that I have told right fielders, fans, pitchers in a summer ball game, I mean, it just brings joy to my heart. Just being able, I mean, the amount of times that I was begging to get thrown out of games in the Wick Bowl and never did. I mean, if I did a half of what I did in one of those little acts, I mean, I would be suspended from the NCAA/NAI for probably a handful of games, and I would not ever hear the end of it from my head coach. I think when we were in Moose Jaw and I tried to – remember when Searing hit that home run off Moose Jaw's pitcher?
I do.
And I grabbed the wooden plank and used it as a telescope to try to find out where the ball is. And I was literally just waving it around, throwing it around, screaming. I mean, and I still didn't get ejected.
Yeah.
I think just even talking about a telescope being pulled out after a home run would be enough for my coach to probably – yell some not so very nice profanity words at me and probably bench me, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with heckling.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
with Ron as an
Yeah.
umpire in the
No.
Wick Bowl,
God, man,
he was trigger happy with the ejections. I mean,
I wish I got
Coach
ejected by him.
Joe Carnahan of the Saskatoon Bears. I mean, he got popped a couple times and for some choice words, but
Shout out.
yeah,
Shout out.
Also, shout out to
Yeah.
Jackson Searing. He might hold the record of most ejections. I mean, just a legendary teammate of ours in Regina. To round out my draft, though, I am going to go with host family dinner.
Oh, nice.
And this is specifically, this kind of plays in with me and Garrett because we had one of the best host families ever. We
Hell
had-
yeah.
Shout out Tammy.
Tammy, if you're listening,
Tammy.
we love you so much.
Yes, absolutely. We love you, Tammy. Just one of the best host moms in the entire world. She
Yes.
cooked us the best meals. Always had it for us hot and ready when we came home from a summer ball game. And I'll tell you what, after a summer ball game, you are just so hungry, so tired. I mean, you're pretty much done. Your games are starting at like 7 o'clock at night. I mean, you are just toast after those games. So when you come home and there's a hot, really good meal waiting there on the stove for you, oh, it's the best feeling in the world. So I'm going to go with host family meals.
It's a great pick.
amazing pick.
Thank you.
Well, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of Lawn Chair Talk. Grant, we just appreciate you stopping by
Thanks for having me, fellas.
dungeon, the bat cave, if you
Absolutely.
will. We've had an absolute blast having you on.
Absolutely.
It was great to learn more about you and just being able to chop it up with you, get a little college baseball, college
Absolutely.
football action. And so
Oh, yeah.
we'll be seeing you around. I believe I will see you tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, about 10 minutes. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
But yeah.
I think that's going to wrap it up, folks.
So like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Instagram at Lawn Chair Talk. We're going to be posting to Spotify here soon, and we're also going to be posting to TikTok here soon.
Yep.
So continue to watch the Instagram for updates. And as always, guys, it's been a pleasure listening.